this battle, we're taking on Berg Alt 2. Unfortunately, this will be another post-game kind of commentation battle because the audio did not come true when I recorded it. So, as per the usual, we leave it a rock grenade. I decided to actually get really greedy here. I was like, this guy's probably a noob. Might not have Dragon Descent. I was expecting like a fly, like a Dragon Pulse. This is exactly when you actually want to switch out. If you're trying to, make a smart move, or really at the highest level, you don't even want to start with a rock grenade as often, because if someone knows what you're trying to go for, they'll try and get an advantageous switch in. So you want to always mix it up. Like Mandibuzz is actually a really good complementary Pokemon to a rock grenade, since you can U-turn out of bad matchups and then you can bring it in later and set up your sticky web. It also really just depends on how you want to play, because you can always give a rock grenade a focus sash. Although, I mean, at that point, you may as well use Galvantula, since you're going to get a little bit more offensive capability and whatnot. So anyways, I actually went into Mandibuzz there, and I wanted to U-turn. I forgot exactly what I went for. Maybe it was foul play in the first turn. But I was just trying to use it so I could actually bring in my offensive Pokemon. I went into Sizer, and I went for a Bullet Punch because I knew that he didn't really have a switch in, so it was guaranteed damage on whatever came in. Now, unfortunately, he actually Mega Walls his Charizard right there. I mean, it's actually kind of common here in Pokemon Brick Bronze. Normally, Tyranitar can hard wall Charizard, but you want to make sure you actually set up your Sandstream first. So sometimes, if you can wait out the turn of Mega Evolution, that might be advantageous for you, because really Charizard can't do anything to Tyranitar. Even if it knows it's coming in, because say you go for a Solar Beam, it's going to take one turn to charge, and then Tyranitar can pick you off and probably live his Solar Beam. So anyways, I went to Skeledirge on Charizard because he set up the Sunlight, so it's going to make us better. He went into Aegislash there, which I was pretty confident we could tank pretty good, and we do. And then we also are able to get a Will-O-Wisp off on the Rayquaza, which is really high value for us. Really, this guy doesn't really have a good way to counter Skeledirge. Like, it can have a pretty dominating presence in a lot of games when your opponent is not ready for it, especially with Unaware and Will-O-Wisp, and then Torch Song, so it's not just a sitting duck, it can actually do insane damage. We go for Hex here. It's actually a great time for him to switch into Chandelure, because that probably could have forced out Skeledirge, since it has such a high special attack. It's not something that Skeledirge ever wants to try and stay in on, especially since Hex is not a guaranteed one-shot. So picking it off right there was really high value, because he could also get a Flash Fire boost if he switched incorrectly. So we're going to go into Sizer here in a Greninja. Actually, not really the best play, but more of an aggressive play. Like, if we went for like a Choice Specs Hydro Pump, that actually could potentially one-shot, but I was thinking he didn't have that since he was going for Ice Beam. I don't really see too many people running Choice Specs on well, actually, I don't know how to explain it. I didn't think he would have it. So I knew that Bullet Punch there though was going to be a guaranteed KO, because now Charizard was in range of being two-shotted. So we were able to pick that one up. It was tempting to actually go for a knockoff here in the Lugia, although I figured that keeping Sizer alive would actually give us a lot of defensive value, since it's my best way of taking out Greninja, since there's no way Greninja survives a Bullet Punch at the HP that it had. Lugia here was not going to be able to beat Tyranitar. I went for Crunch there instead of Stone Edge, because I was thinking he was going to go for a Roost, and I wanted to ensure that I still did big damage to him. He didn't really do that, but it was still pretty good, and we're able to pick up the Lugia there. That really just isn't a 1v1 that Lugia ever wants to fight, since Tyranitar can absorb all its hits, and it can hit Lugia back extremely hard. So here under Rayquaza, I decided to go into Mandibuzz. I didn't really want to see it that Tyranitar died, and I also just wanted to go for a U-turn here so I can set up another Pokemon to go on the offensive, which was my Garchomp here. And the benefit of this is that I'm guaranteed to outspeed on this turn because of my because of the Gen 6 mechanic that uses my pre-Mega Evolution speed. But I decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice here just because Draco Meteor has a chance of missing, and I don't want to let this game snowball. So we pick up the Rayquaza, and now he just has his Greninja left. Now granted, this could have actually torn through the rest of my team had it gone through Garchomp and Sizer, but luckily we kept Sizer alive, so that wasn't going to be a problem. And somehow we still outspeed this guy anyway, so that right there was GG.